Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have a get ready with me while we chat about everything wedding related. My do's, my don'ts, the things that I'm definitely not liking about the process, the things I wish I knew before I started planning the wedding. So I feel like I've been trying to not saturate my channel and my content with the wedding for a few reasons. One of them is that the wedding is quite far away in time. The other one is that there hadn't been as much progress, but I think that right now I have quite a lot to share. And for anyone that just got engaged or is about to get married, or you're just interested in the topic, I thought that this was going to be the perfect ready morning to do this. First, I want to give a little bit of background to anyone that is new or you just don't know my relationship that well. I got engaged 1 year ago. I've been with my boyfriend, now fiance, for 8.5 years now. So we've been a while together since we were pretty much teenagers, and we moved to Barcelona a year and a half ago. The wedding is going to be this spring, so it's coming up, and it's going to be in the north of France in a chateau. I'm gonna explain all about why we decided to do it there, absolutely everything. So yeah, I feel way more normal now talking about the wedding and getting married, because pretty much all of my friends, actually my closest friends right now, all of them are engaged. One of my bridesmaids and one of my best friends for my entire life, she got engaged like a month ago, but I just feel like the wedding conversation, like in my surroundings and my friendships, has been so strong. So yeah, I definitely have a lot to vent, a lot of tips, a lot of things that I definitely feel like I was not expecting. So let's get ready. I'm going to use a headband. I've been trying the hitless curl method. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing it, but it's basically you just put like a long soft headband and you wrap your hair around it and you sleep with it. And so far it's been the only thing on this earth that actually curls my hair. But I think that last night it worked a little bit too well because it's not going down at all. So while we wait till it goes down a little bit more, I'm just gonna use this to control my hair and not have the makeup on my face. I feel like it makes my head look so big because I have all the volume because of the curls behind of the band. I'm not the biggest fan of how I look like this, but it's that or get my hair on the face all the time. So as always, this is not a makeup channel. I am in no way, shape or form someone who knows a lot about makeup, so I just do it the same every single time. And that's my routine and I stick to it, and I use basically the same products every time that they're gonna be linked in the description box down below in case you're interested with the shades and everything. So a little bit of how the process has been going. I had a lot of ideas of how the wedding was going to be, and I've been having to adapt to the reality of the circumstances or things. It definitely got to a point where I was stressing more than actually enjoying it. So I've been having to make some changes along the lines to just let myself chill and just let it be. And I think that's something that you don't really see much. Everyone is so happy and so excited talking about the wedding, and they don't tell you about the things that cause stress about it. I'm gonna tell you the good, bad, the ugly, and the amazing parts of all of it, at least in my experience and for my type of wedding. So we live in Barcelona, but we're gonna get married in France. Being a little bit more specific, it's around Angers, which is like 2 hours from Paris. And the way that we found the venue is because we knew that we wanted something that was not like a party that would last like 6 to 8 hours with ceremony and everything and just go back to a hotel. We wanted a place where we could stay, sleep there, maybe have like a few days with family and friends, and we wanted the wedding to be quite small. So why France and not Spain? We definitely have a few reasons for this, but the main one is prices. Also, my other option was Italy. I started with Lago di Como, and let me tell you, it was so expensive, and we couldn't find anything that would actually meet what we were looking for. But I can tell you that I got some codes for venues in Italy that were insane. And by insane, I mean 60,000 for 6 hours, and you were not staying there. It was just to use the spot for the ceremony and the party. Like, that was only to use it. So then you would have to find accommodation, of course, rent the chairs, the tables, all of that. And after that, we decided that Lago di Como was not going to be it for us. So then we moved to Tuscany, and even if it's cheaper, it was still super expensive and just not the vibe that we wanted. We wanted something that would feel like a weekend with your family, where you would do activities, enjoy a lot of nature, be able to relax. I didn't want it to feel like anything like hardcore party, super bougie. I want to feel beautiful, cozy, but something that you wouldn't do on a regular day, but something that was worth it, the price point that we were paying. So we started looking here in Spain, and even if the prices were lower, it was still a little bit crazy. And we were like, you know what, we love France, why don't we look very old chateaus in France, and maybe we can rent them and make the ceremony and everything there. And the thing is that we went to see a few chateaus, and all of them were focused only on doing weddings. Like, their chateau was for weddings only. They already had like pre-made packages for you, which I didn't like at all, because when we were talking to the contact of the chateaus, they were like, yes, we have the, let's say, the silver, the gold, and the diamond package. It's this amount and it comes with this, and this. The things that you could actually change of each package were actually not that many, and some of them included entering with a carriage or balloon dancers or fire shows, stuff like that that we were not really looking for. That I understand why some people would go all out with their wedding, but we're definitely not like that. We're like, by 9 I am in bed reading a book with tea, and for me what a night out looks like is going to a friend's house to drink some wine and played cards. So I just didn't feel like that was for us, and we encountered that most places are like this. And I understand that many people come from overseas and get married here, so having all that set up and already done, it's very, very nice and easy. Just you're like, yeah, I want the gold package, and your wedding is pretty much set up. Because the chateaus already have pretty much everything done, like the vendors, the flowers. There was one that the flower business was inside the chateau. The restaurant was also inside the chateau with like the chef, decorations, like absolutely everything. They already had it there. But we were both like, this is not what I envisioned, so let's look for something else. And how we found our chateau was actually via Google Maps. So if you go through the areas that have a lot of like vineyards and that are not very close to the cities, and you just research a little bit, you'll know where to find the chateau. So we looked for many of them, and then we would try to look the name of the chateau and then try to contact the owners. Most of these are available to be rented for you to stay there, which was the case for this one. It is not a chateau for weddings, but they have the option to host your wedding there. But you can also rent the chateau for like 2 weeks for a vacation with your entire family. And this chateau was a little bit older, it was a little bit smaller, and it had pretty much everything that we were looking for. It had a pool, it had a beautiful lake, it had a beautiful gazebo, it had space for everyone, a mini golf course, a tennis course. There's so many things to do, and they were very much like, yeah, you do whatever you want. You can stay here for, what we're gonna do is 4 nights, and 30 people can stay with us at the chateau. And actually in this place there's a couple that live there. It's their house, and they're gonna be joining us for the wedding and everything. We met them, and they gave me such a warm feeling that I was really happy and very comfortable, and it was very easy for us to feel like this was the place. Definitely you always have to go and see the places in person because they look very different from pictures, but for us, this place, staying 4 nights, it was 10-20 times cheaper than most places we saw in Spain, in Italy, and in the south of France. The south of France is very, very expensive, but it was actually quite reasonable in our opinion, taking that 30 people are gonna sleep there for 4 nights, that it's going to be our wedding venue and all that it offers. The 4 nights, 30 people, and it was giving us everything that we wanted. I think it was very much fair. When the wedding is over, I'm happy to share all the information and where it is and what's the name and how to look for it, but for now I think it's better to keep it private. Now, after we had the venue set, my other main concern and cause of stress was the dress, and I talked about this on a vlog before. We actually found the dress and it was not as stressful or as hard as I thought that it was going to be. This is the concealer that I like to use. So I was actually very much into the idea of the TV shows that I watched before, like Say Yes to the Dress, trying 100 different dresses. I don't know, putting a lot of pressure into myself and how I looked, and what if no dress was gonna make me feel like, oh, this is the dress. Like, I think that was my main concern. Not really thinking that any dress was going to make my heart stop and just be sure that it was it. And it was actually hard, not because I didn't find one, it was because I found 2. And this is the other one that I really like to use. So I went to a total of 2 stores, even if I had like 4 or 5 appointments. By the second one, I knew that that was it. And I went to Rosa Clara at first in Madrid, and I tried like 5 dresses. I didn't vlog any of this because I didn't want to, I don't know, like I feel like vlogging and filming all that and making it content was going to add stress to me. So I just decided I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go and 100% try to be comfortable, look for the dress, and enjoy the process. I was already quite nervous by itself, and I feel mainly it's because when people talk about your wedding, you feel like you need to look the best, the skinniest. Your skin has to be the most perfect that it's ever been. And when wedding dress shopping, you're trying to envision that you're gonna have to change yourself in order to fit to the best. And I say best like this because right now I'm probably the healthiest that I've ever been in my entire life. Maybe I'm a little bit stressed, but but I tried to eat the best that I can. I feel healthy and I feel happy. And I wanted to look beautiful, but I also wanted to be comfortable. And I tried many dresses and I had like my plan B from Rosa Clara, but I didn't want to go out with the plan B, if it makes sense. Like, I really liked it, but I was not like, oh my god, this is a dress of my dreams. I cannot wait to use it. I cannot wait for my wedding day, because for me, fashion is like a really big part of my life. And I love dresses and I love bags and I love shoes. So yeah, it was very scary to not feel good enough for a dress, but it was also really scary for the pressure that I was putting on myself. So the second appointment I had was in this boutique that is called Love is in the Air. It's in Madrid. I highly recommend anyone that is looking for wedding dresses to go check there. Price points are a little bit high, but I mean, it was just the place. I didn't really take many pictures, but I tried a few dresses and then I tried one. And this one was very not me. If you know me, you know that I'm very basic. I'm not into very intricate, loaded type of designs. As beautiful as they are, I try to go to the simple version and cleaner version of things. But yeah, I tried this dress. Very not me, but it's the type of thing that if you're a girl that loves like shiny stuff and flowers and glitter, like I saw the dress and I felt like a little kid. I tried it on and it had a corset and it was the most beautiful thing. It didn't feel like me, but I was like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't feel like this with the other dresses. And I was actually wedding dress shopping, and Geraldine, Polo's sister, was with me, and she was like, yeah, I think this is going to be the dress. But then the lady at the store was like, try this other one. For what I see that you wear, how you came dressed, for what you told me about where you're gonna get married, try this other one. So I tried the other dress that she showed me, and it was literally the prettier version of my dream dress that I had on my Pinterest board. Like, I had the dress on my Pinterest board. This was like that, but you would upgrade it. It was very similar to the first one, but instead of all the crystals, I'm gonna show you a few pictures of the first one. Like, I think I only took a few because I wanted to send a picture to friends and family and be like, hey, this is not very me, but do you like it? And everyone was like, yes, I like it. So yeah, I took very few pictures of the day. So this is what I can show you. This second dress was very much more romantic, a little bit less loaded with stuff, but equally, like, the shape was very similar. I tried it on and again I was like, this is it. This is going to be it. I felt so pretty and so comfortable, and because it was a corset, but it was not like a super tight one, and it had like a little jumper. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt so right, and I felt so in love with the dress. I did debate so much between the two of them, because one of them made me feel like a fairy tale princess, and the other one was like, this is a dress where you get married in a chateau. Like, that was a dress. So after sitting there, drinking a little bit, and considering the pros and cons of each of the dresses, I ended up going with what felt more like myself. Because if anything, I want to look back on these pictures and just on the dress, because you're gonna keep it forever, and feel like the dress represented me and was me, and nothing wrong with the other one. Like, I would have been really happy with the other one if I didn't try this other one, but there's a few alterations that had to be done to the second dress. For instance, adding sleeves. It's very important to add sleeves because I don't know how cold it's going to be at night, and also because I'm more of a sleeve person. It was not strapless because I knew that I didn't want a strapless dress, but I wanted to have sleeves that would be able to take on and off if I needed them or not. And I wanted to close the corset because I didn't want it to be like the sweetheart shape, even if that can be very flattering. I just want to be very comfy and just have a square neckline corset, because that was like my vision, and thankfully there's a lot of things that you can alter on the dress. So the dress is supposed to be coming soon because they have to make one for you, and I cannot wait to go and try it on. That one I feel a little bit more comfortable with filming, and I'm gonna try other dresses, even the one that I did not pick, and I can show that. So I can see that being a video when I go and try mine on, not sharing mine but trying other dresses on. Again, highly recommend you to go to Love is in the Air. Everyone and the staff was beyond accommodating. They made me feel amazing and so calm and so happy and so comfortable with my own skin. And since I am not the most self-confident person in this world, I really do appreciate that it was just a very nice environment, and for me that's always super important. Now, bridesmaids and maid of honor. Of course, my maid of honor is going to be Geraldine, and Geraldine is Polo's little sister. And I know that having your sister sister-in-law as your maid of honor, it's probably not the most normal thing in the world. But the thing is, I met Geraldine when she was 8 years old. I started dating Polo like a really, really long time ago. And at first she was so shy, but we developed this relationship like little sister, older sister. Like the click was so fast. Like taking my relationship with Polo aside, I think she has been for me something that I really needed in my life. We literally talk every single day. I feel like I'm her go-to person and she's my go-to person. And we fight quite a lot. She's sometimes a little bit mean because she's a teenager. But I think we have such an amazing relationship and I cannot see my life without her, and she's my go-to person. So it was never a question about if she was going to be my maid of honor or not, given that she's been in my life so much for the past 8 to 9 years. So for me, she's my little sister, my best friend, and she's my family. But she's not really doing anything maid of honor related, and neither are my bridesmaids. I only have 3. So Geraldine is the first one, and I have 2 bridesmaids, and one of them is Agatha. She's my best friend. She also got engaged like a month ago, so she's the one that I was talking about. And then we have Pau, and Pau is my longest friend. So it's only the 3 of them, but I'm not asking them for anything, but just giving them their special spot on the wedding day and on the weekend. I let them choose whatever color they wanted to wear. They all picked blue and baby blue. They of course asked me if I liked it, and we know that I love baby blue, so baby blue it's going to be. They are choosing their dresses. I just didn't want to add more to their lives at all or expect anything. They're just being with me probably 24/7 during that weekend, because I'm gonna be very stressed, especially on the wedding day, because if you know me, I know that I do social media, but it's really different sitting here right now in my living room alone talking to a camera and no one being here than standing and being the center of attention for 80, 90 people. I've never been someone comfortable with public speaking, and my social battery drains super fast. So I know I'm gonna need a lot of support that day and encouragement, because it kind of freaks me out. So yeah, that's the deal with the bridesmaids and the maid of honor. I took a bit of a break and I got coffee. Now, in terms of how much Polo is actually involved on the wedding planning process, because I got questions about this a lot. Honestly, we're trying to do the most 50-50 as we can. He's very vocal about what he wants, so we do sit down and have chats about we want this, we want that, etc. So I am actually quite surprised. Now, talking about one of my main struggles, which was the photographers, and me being someone that absolutely loves photography and video and all of this, I feel like I was really nervous about what I was going to get. I had this very specific idea of the pictures and how I wanted them, and I just kept feeling that nothing that I would see, nothing that I was being pitched, because I do have a wedding planner and she sent me a few options. I would see their portfolios and I was like not fully convinced, because nothing would fit exactly what I was looking for. And at first I was a little bit concerned that maybe I was being a little bit too picky. Also, at the same time, I feel like it reflects a lot for me, like capturing that day. It's so important, and if you have a specific style and something that you really want, keep looking and you're gonna be able to find it, because there's everyone for anything. And we wanted, like, I had this little vision board of exactly what we wanted to have, and this is something that both Polo and I were very set on. We just didn't want the cheesy pictures. Like there's a few that are like the staple that everyone has, and I just knew that that was not what we wanted. Also, Polo was quite vocal about not wanting to pose that much like on the wedding pictures. He wanted everything to be more like in the moment. Of course, there's gonna be pictures where we slow down, like look at the camera and just smile. Yes, of course, but mostly we wanted more editorial, documental type of pictures of like how the day actually looked like, and not only group pictures and smiling and hugging each other, just like real moments. That's what we wanted to capture. And also pictures with Masha were very important for me. So I don't know, finding specifically that was quite hard. And I don't know, I found a lot of photographers that didn't really want to have a conversation or just talk to you and want to deal only with your wedding planner, when this was something that I kind of wanted to have a feel for that person, because already I feel like it's hard and stressful, and if you are not able to chat and to say something to the photographer, like, or feel comfortable with them during those 12 hours, it's going to be so complicated. I already have like kind of my system with Polo when he takes my pictures, but I'm so camera shy, especially when it's in front of a lot of people or when it's a stranger taking my pictures. So I just wanted to know that we had the same vision. So at the end, I ended up finding this fantastic photographer that of course, when we have the pictures, I'm gonna share with everyone. And of course, share his page because all that I have seen that he has done is amazing. And he was so chatty, so calming, so nice, so sweet, that for me made the entire difference. As I said, for me, all of this, I wanted the process to be something that I felt super comfortable with and happy, and just that felt wholesome. I think that's the word that I want to use. So we have the photographer. Of course, when you're saying photographers, you have to take into account that you're gonna have to probably fly someone and pay for their travel expenses, or if you want to find someone local. But then if you're in a really big city, I don't think that that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, I'm super happy with our photographer. Thank God, because I was so nervous about that. Now I think I lost my highlighter, but it's right here. So let's talk about the wedding planners. This was probably my first mistake. I was so naive thinking that I was not going to need a wedding planner, because in my head I was like, this is a 70 people wedding. I can definitely plan that myself. I already have the wedding venue. It's only going to be finding the flowers, maybe the tables, like nothing I cannot do. Very, very quickly, I realized how wrong it was. And believe me, I'm someone who tends to figure it out. And I knew that if I wanted to, I could figure it out, but I would have lost my sanity in the process. There's a lot of things that the wedding industry is like gatekeeping a lot. Like they just rather deal with a wedding planner than with particulars. At least that's why I felt. And also the wedding planner that we ended up choosing, she makes weddings in the area a lot and has done many, many weddings in our specific chateau. So she knew the owners of the chateau. She knew everyone from the town and where to get the flowers and where to get this and where to get that. And also she gave me a lot of peace of mind. But finding the wedding planner was not an easy thing, because same as everything, I found a lot of people that wanted to push for bigger, more extravagant things constantly. And I would have a lot of video chats and presentations. Like I met with at least 5 wedding planners and we just didn't match. And I think connecting with your wedding planner is very important, because if they don't get your vision and they are not on the same wavelength as you are, there's gonna be a lot lost in communication, and at the end that's gonna reflect on that day. And our wedding planner, she's French, but she's also Spanish, so we actually are able to speak in Spanish. But from the beginning I felt like she just understood pretty much anything that we wanted. She just went into the family dinner, wholesome weekend, wine tasting. She's so calming for me. And I think that's really, really good. And I think that's something amazing from a planner, that she's able to calm you down and make you feel comfortable, because we're literally flying 70, 80 family and friends, most of them to the other side of the world for a wedding, and we want them to be able to enjoy the day and for us to not stress about it. So yeah, get a wedding planner. Sabrina for us is amazing. In case anyone is looking to marry in Europe, I think she does weddings around everywhere, so I'm gonna leave her Instagram. She's been handling of my freakouts and my concerns. I know nothing about wedding planning, and she's been amazing through it all with both of us. Now, talking about the nightmares of wedding planning and the things that I was not expecting to happen but that ended up happening. We didn't want to have kids on the wedding. Geraldine and my cousins are probably going to be the youngest people there, and we do have good reasons for that. First of all, the chateau has a very, very big lake, no fence. The place is huge, and it's also going to be an adult party. I just feel like if you're gonna have a wedding with kids, you need to accommodate certain things also for the kids to have a good time. So we're approaching this more like this is a weekend that people can have for themselves and leave their kids at home. Mash is going to be there, so I don't know. I could see so many things going wrong, and at the same time it's like finding food specifically for kids and worrying where the kids are all the time, or if anything happens, just like you need to be really, really careful. And we want to be very responsible in that sense, and a lot of people did get a bit mad at us for not having a kid-friendly wedding. But at the same time, I think in the long run it's going to be just better for everyone. Me, as someone who went to a lot of weddings as a kid, I hated it. I would never had a good time. I always wanted to be home. It's just that we don't want to have kids there. Now, there's the 2 worst things for me is that if you don't invite certain people, like people just expect you to invite them even if you haven't talked to them in 2 or 3 years. I think people sometimes don't understand the concept of just a very, very small wedding. And if we would go further and further into the people that you know, maybe you don't really have a relationship with them anymore, or it was just like a very formal one, you would end up with a 500 people wedding. And we really, really just wanted to stick to everyone being there, being literally our closest and most loved ones, and for it to be a very close and calming welcoming circle, just something that we would both enjoy so much. So there's people that we haven't talked to, as I said, in 2-3 years. And it's really hard to have those conversations because, I don't know, I just feel like people see weddings as an opportunity to a party and experience, but for us, it's literally one of the biggest days of our lives. So it's been a few uncomfy conversations trying to explain the whys, and it's honestly really hard. And for me, I have a very hard time with boundaries to just stick to them. Paul is better than this than me. Additionally, to everyone expects to be invited, and they're gonna be very pissed at you if you don't invite them, even if you don't talk, is the people that want a +1 that you have never met. As I said, being this a relatively small wedding and very close, everyone kind of knows each other or has a group of people that they know in the wedding that they're gonna be able to connect and have a really good time. So we just don't want to be introduced to people during the wedding. I just don't want to be, hi, nice to meet you, I'm the bride, never met you in my life, but thank you for coming. And I understand that people have long-term relationships, and we've made our compromises in that sense. Like, we have done it scenario by scenario, but it's been really hard. And I think that's the main thing that has put me off enjoying all of this process, because I'm constantly worried about people getting pissed at me for this or for that, or because we're really trying to stick to a low amount of people. Also, if we go above a certain amount of people, it involves a lot of things that need to change. So at some point, and I'm saying this trying to understand it myself, the wedding is about you. The wedding is for you, and it's about you and for you to enjoy it. It needs to make you happy and possibly stress the least that you can. I know that this is easier said than done, but yes, I think this is the biggest trouble that I faced when it comes to the wedding and what's been stopping me a little bit from enjoying it as much as I can. There's also a few things that we're doing a bit differently that I think this is just our personal taste and how we like to do things. So Masha, my dog, my golden retriever, she's going to be the ring bearer. We will also kindly ask people to not use their phones during the ceremony. We have very good reasons for this. The first one is we are paying a lot of money to a photographer, and I've been seeing a lot on the portfolios of other photographers that when they're trying to take the pictures of the couple, like on the ceremony, on the aisle, and on top of everyone's heads, everyone is popping their phone out trying to take a picture and capture the moment. And I know that they're doing this because they want either to take the picture for you and then send it to you, or just have their own memories of your wedding day. But you can also send everyone the pictures that the photographer is taking, and we really don't want the pictures to be crowded with cell phones. And this will also contribute to people be able to enjoy the moment a little bit more and be there with us than just trying to see if their phone is getting the right angle or the right picture. We will send the pictures of the wedding to absolutely everyone. There's probably gonna be a drive, and it's not like we're taking the phones away. We're just gonna kindly ask everyone if they can just save their phones, and they can just take the phone out when the ceremony is done. We will have live music. Right now I'm between two options. I'm between the harp and violins. So we're gonna see. Right now in January we need to do a lot of testing. That's gonna be makeup, hair, music. We need to see the DJ and picking the flowers. I know that peonies are gonna be like the flowers of the wedding, and I know that they're expensive, but they're just my favorite flower. Given how much I paid for my wedding dress and how much I love it, I don't think there's gonna be an outfit change. Like, the least that I want to do is to wear that thing the entire day, and it's also comfortable, so I think we're gonna be good with that. But since the wedding is going to last a few days, I have the lanvin dress for the day before, and I want to find like very cute outfits for the entire weekend, so I am very much looking forward to that. We don't know if we're gonna have a small cake to have the cutting the cake moment, or we're just gonna go for other alternatives, so we're still in the process of deciding that. We're going to need to hire a nanny for Masha, so someone needs to look after her, especially on the wedding day, because I just know her and I don't want her to go to the lake, and that's gonna be really hard to manage. So I need someone that's just being able to check on her, and if she goes wander around the area, that she probably will. But I also think that she's gonna stay with us most of the time. She's very much like just laying beneath our table or sitting next to us, so I'm hoping that she just wants to stick to us and not go say hi to every single person. But I have no idea. I've never seen Masha in those settings, so that's another topic that we're gonna have to see. We're making a playlist to show the DJ because we definitely have like a mix of things we want. I love classical music, but I also love Latin music, but we also want some Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift and Mamma Mia around there. So we have kind of a mix in terms of music. So we need to figure how we're gonna put that together. So in general, my views on wedding and wedding planning is don't get ahead of yourself. When you get engaged, wait, enjoy 2 months, and then you plan the wedding, because it is overwhelming. You will probably go over budget or have to compromise things that are very, very important to you. And I think it's really, really easy to just get overwhelmed and stressed and stop enjoying it really, really quickly. So when you feel like that is happening, you press pause. You sit down, you regroup, you talk to your wedding planner or whoever is helping you plan the wedding, and you're gonna feel way better. Like every time that this happens to me, I literally stop talking and I stopped thinking about the wedding for a little bit, because I think sometimes we need space to breathe and to think about other things. And if you have a good team, a support team around you, it's going to be fine. So far, families have been more than supportive. Everyone has been amazing and they're so happy for us. And I'm actually quite shocked the amount of people that are willing to fly all the way to this little place in France to our wedding. And I hope that it's as amazing as we want it to be. And I hope that it's just a relaxing family weekend. It's going to be the first time that our families actually like properly meet, because my family lives here in Spain. All of my dad's side of the family. And from my mom's side, everyone is between the US, Germany, Mexico. So it's really hard to put everyone together, and I think this is the first time in such a long time that everyone is going to be in the same place. So the part of putting everyone on tables, that's gonna be very tricky. So yeah, taking it one step at a time. Very excited about the dress, very excited that I have the shoes. This next couple of months are gonna be the most heavy planning and really nailing things down, because at first it was like the major things, the ones that were really far away and easier to pick, and right now we're down to the details. So let's see how I handle in the next couple of months. But this was it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions, tips that you want to give me, that would be very much appreciated. Again, everything will be linked in the description box down below. And yeah, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're not done watching, I'm gonna leave you 2 videos right here in case you want to check them out. Thank you and see you on the next one. Bye.